Hello and welcome to a rant about EA and about the previous illustrations and the new illustration of a football or soccer simulation game. Previously it was FIFA, all the way from the old FIFAs. I can't remember when they actually, FIFA 95 or something like that. All the way to FIFA 23. To now FC24. So this is a little bit going over what is wrong with FIFA and maybe how they can improve. What's wrong with FC24 and what is wrong with EA and how they can possibly improve their new IP for the future. So, what is wrong with FC24 as was previous wrong with FIFA? Well, as you can see here, online notice, she is trying to find a club's drop-in match, and as you can see, it says match found and it's still searching. Oh, and look at that, it comes up and says it's not found, it's a connection issue. It's not. It's not a connection issue, especially not her connection issue, right? It's EA servers. And since you've added this illustration of this drop-ins, it's never really worked that well. The old one, yes, people used to pick the players, and that's fine. I don't mind if somebody gets a player that you don't get. You move on to the next game. But it worked. Now, they have got crossplay in this. That's brilliant. Round of applause for them to actually add crossplay in. Been asking for it for a long time, even all the way back. I would say maybe FIFA 20, possibly even before that. I know that people have been asking for it a long time. But some of the other things which are wrong with EA is the way that they hype up the game. So you look at every single year when they hype up a new game. So like FIFA, when they first brought out, when they had the new Frostbite engine and all this, they're like, oh yeah, powered by the Frostbite engine. They're like, okay. Then Hypermotion, oh yeah, Hypermotion. Okay. And then, Hypermotion V2. What? No, just what? And then you buy they hype it up like it's the crown jewels from the royal family. And you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna buy it. Maybe it's better this year. But then you get title of the game, and it's nothing but a wet paper bag with a hot, steaming dog shit in it. That's literally what it is. And you're like, what is this? Now, it's got some good features, but then it has more bad features, like this. And one of the bad features of this is AIs. AIs back in FIFA 17, when they had the squad battles, AIs in FIFA 17 were perfect. They weren't too overpowering, even on Legendary. They give you a challenge on Legendary, but they weren't overpowering, right? They weren't too good, but they weren't too bad. They were perfect. Then bring out the next game, and they're just like, yeah, well, we've added this. I think it's when they added that new, what was it? Competitive mode. Or we've added this new competitive mode. No. But another thing which is actually bad about this is defending. Defending is diabolical. Now, FIFA 21 defending was pretty good. FIFA 13 Legacy defending was pretty good. But we got some quick little shots here to show you what the defending is like. So, yeah. we'll have a quick look at these. Look. Oh, look. Oh, look. The defender goes straight past it. And look at this. What's his leg? What's his leg? And he just, his legs like goes to make the tackle, and then he's like, no, it's not there. That's the defending, right? That's the defending from the last, what, 3 illustrations, especially was in FIFA 23. And I believe it was in FIFA 22. But the FIFA 21 defending was good because you could pull a player back. You could use a CDM and pull them back, and your other defenders would be, they would sit back. But you could pull that player back, and then if a player went to make a pass or shoot, you could literally pull that CDM or whatever player. Oh, she's actually found a game. She does play the full game, and then they do actually win 1-0 into extra time. But yeah, no, once over you can get your CDM or your CM, and then you could like literally close the player down and actually make a good tackle. In FIFA 23 legacy defending, what people used to do, and I think one of the reasons why they got rid of it, especially in like games which is Ultimate Team, one of the reasons why they got rid of it was because people used to press the R1 button, right, and then press the X button, right? So that's what people basically used to do. That's what they used to do all the time. And it was overpowering. I will say it was overpowering. But I feel like if you're playing against AIs, it should be like that anyway. They should have it like that. They should go back to that. Instead of the defending, holding the hands down the side and sidestepping them. You're not doing the waltz. You're not trying to do a cha-cha-cha or a tango. Close them down and just pin them. That's what they should do. Another thing that I actually do like that they've put in is the defensive trainer thing. Now, I've got a thing here for the defensive trainer. I think it should be on, if your player closes down, I think it should be on all the time to show where you could defend from, right? Especially if you're playing against AIs. I wouldn't say if you're playing against other players because that's down to you. But it teaches you how to defend, right? And maybe over time, you'll get used to it. But I also think it should stay on all the time, especially when you defend and you get close to the player and you've got to close them down, right? And if that's green, right, and your player and their player is actually in the cone of like where he's going to pass. So if he's going to make a back pass, nearly knocked up my headphones, then obviously the player shouldn't be able to get it. If he's going to make a pass to the right or to the left, then obviously, but if it's in front to the right, like front right or front left or in front, like if they're going to try and like swerve it around and the prompt comes up, like let's say it's the circle button or the B button, you should make a successful block if you press it within quick enough time. It should be like a quick millisecond, like as the player goes to pass, and it should just prompt up and you press the button, bang, done, and you make a successful block. If you don't do it in time, then you don't make a successful block, and that's down to your timing, which is fine. I get it. I do think the legacy defending should come back the way how it used to be. I do feel like that the AIs should go back to FIFA 17, but maybe amped up a little bit, but not too much. Not overpowering. Like ever since they had the competitive mode in, that's when the AIs went completely bad, I would say. But I would say amp them up a little bit, but not too much. Now the defenders in pro clubs, they're pretty decent. They're a lot better this year. They do close down a lot better this year. Okay, there's some little tweaks that they can maybe do now and then, but apart from that, yeah. Skill moves. I think they should go back to the old ways of skill moves, of where it was just analog. I try and do a skill, like I've tried to do a skill move, like what I used to do in FIFA 17. And the skill move, I can't remember what it was called, was where you would drag the ball kind of backwards, but then spin around to either the left or the right, and you just can't really do that much more because the other team AI gets outsmarted, right? Like they see, like sorry, they don't get outsmarted. They outsmart you because they win the ball, right? And that's the thing. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like there's a lot of things that EA could do. I think they should go back to some previous EAs and add a couple of features in that they've had and stuff like that. But yeah. What else could they do? I really think that actually they could add a lot better into the manager mode. I do think another thing that they could do is, let's say if you create a club, they're working with a couple of good companies like Amazon, Pepsi, some other companies that we don't know about. But see if you can get their permission to have, like when somebody creates a club, instead of it being a handprint or, you know, like the FC logo or whatever, have it so like you can put the Amazon badge on, or if that doesn't happen, make up some silly names. Make up a silly name. You know, just make up a silly name. Make up a company. You know, make up a logo, make up a company so they can actually add it on. You know, make up a sponsor. I think sponsors need to be better, because I remember in the old FIFAs you actually had sponsors which you could do that, you know, but now you can't, and I don't get why you've took that away. I think you should bring back the board thing, where you can request funds from the board. I do like where you've added in the coaches, but I think when the manager's on the sideline, instead of speaking to a player unless he's coming on as a sub, I think the manager should be like where the bench is. I think you should do where the manager sit at the bench. Maybe looking at like the VAR. I think VAR, you should add VAR in. Even though the program shows that it's offside, still have it where the referee, like if it's a very questionable offside, like let's say it's a minuscule offside, you can program. I know you can program this in. It won't be that hard for you to program in. But if it's a very minuscule offside, right, and if there's a prompt button, let's say you press the triangle button, like let's say it's offside, and you're like, oh, I want to see if that's offside. Like, you know the game's going to show you offside. But how about a prompt button comes up, right? You can press the prompt button. The referee, the camera goes to the referee. Cinematic camera goes into the referee. He goes to his ear. He does the VAR sign. He runs over to the VAR, right? And then basically it comes up offside. Like you just then go to the screen. The manager comes. Sorry, not the referee comes. He doesn't have to say anything. He makes the suggestion that it was offside, or points to, you know, the other team, like, you know, the winning team that gets the ball, and then just go to the big screen and offside. VAR decision, offside. That's all you've got to do. You know, I think that should be added in. So then you can have the manager where he's sitting actually on the bench, you know, offside. I think the team coaches, you can just get generic, just make up just a face for team coaches. You know, like, okay, so let's say assistant manager. I'd love to see actually an assistant manager position as well. So when a new player comes into the club, and let's say it's not a big name player, your assistant manager brings him in, right? Welcomes him, stuff like that. Okay, the manager gives a handshake how he used to, and then the manager has to go, right? I think another thing is, if a player's got a question for the player, instead of, I know this is a lot of messages, but I think if it's a big question for a player about his career, like his position at the club, like let's say Donny van de Beek. I'm just going to say hypothetically Donny van de Beek. Let's say he wants to leave Manchester United. He wants to take this to the manager. Have it so Donny van de Beek is knocking on the manager's door. Cutscene, walks in. You have a conversation with him. you know, and then you walk out. You know, stuff like that. Like, say you've got like a big player like Bruno Fernandes and you're going to sell him, right? You're going to sell Bruno Fernandes, right? And he knocks on the door and he's like, hey, gaffer, like, I heard that you're trying to sell me. And you basically like, listen, I'm looking for new options. I'm looking to bring in younger talent. You've been a legend for the club. Whatever, you know, discussions that they need to have, whatever things. I think that could be a thing. Again, let's say on the where you've got the news reel that comes up and like a big player signing or stuff like that. How about so where the manager, like, okay, so you see the signing come in, right? How about like where the manager where he picks up the paper from his office and you know, he sees that like, let's say a big name player, let's just say where you got this billboard thing and it's a camera roll. I like that, I do like the camera roll, but if it's a player that's this is hard to actually say, but it's not hard to say, but it would be hard to do, I believe myself. If it's a big name player like Mbappe, and you've got him on your shortlist and you were looking to buy him, you know, and you're like, right, I'm going to buy Mbappe. But then he ends up going to Juventus or Chelsea or any other team. I think you should get it. Instead of that real sin thingy, I think the first cut scene that you should get is the manager walks into his office and he holds up the paper and he's like, Mbappe signs for Chelsea, Mbappe signs for Man City, Mbappe signs for this team. I think that's what you should do. I think that could be a good thing. Like, even with the manager, if he's under fire, like, let's say if he's lost like 5 games, 6 games, how many other games in a row, like, is Ten Hag under pressure? Is Pep under pressure? Is this player manager under pressure? You know, yeah, stuff like that. Little things like that can make it look really, really cool. You know, like, I liked it when the player came in with the bus. When they came into the bus, all the fans cheering, like when it's a big derby match and stuff like that, or the first match of the season, and then the players are coming in off the bus. I like that. I do like that stuff. I like the stuff that you've got in now for some of that. I do think at half time, when it's a half time though, I think all the restart, team management and all that should be at the bottom. And the manager should actually then give words of confidence which inspire your players. So like, you can have defensive team talk, you can have a full team talk, or defensive team talk, or midfield team talk, or striker, like attacking team talk, even team talk to the goalkeeper. Although I would say the goalkeeper class is kind of defense, but you could do that. Or you can have individual player team talks. Now, I mean, it was on pairs. It was in pairs where you could actually, like, you know, have a separate team talk. But I think if you just got like a prompt, like a wheel, and just like have like a thing where you go, right, blah blah blah, this. It's another cut. Like, again, you would put it at the bottom, not like, you know, at the bottom, not too far at the bottom though, and then you would have it like so many options, like 6 to 8 options of what you like, you know, bang. See, I would say you would have squad team talk, midfield team talk, attacking team talk, defensive team talk. That's maybe all you need. So 4. You wouldn't need 4 team talks, right? And like, you know, and then you can have it where the manager's moving stuff about on the board, doing stuff like that, you know, like cheering up the players, you know, walking around the room, like pointing fingers, stuff like that. You can do stuff like that, and that would be so great for this game. It'll bring the manager career mode to like life. Another thing that I would love to see is, I know they brought in this new touchline experience, and you can watch the game from the stands. I really do think that the camera shouldn't be behind the manager, and also actually the camera. It's not that the camera should be higher up, right, in the middle, and you should be able to do certain commands, and then your manager's like, you know, like if you're telling them to move up the pitch, like it should be like a wheel. You press the button, like the right trigger button or the left trigger button. The wheel comes up, and then it's like, right, press, and your manager's like showing, you know. Or like let's say like you've just been scored upon. Again, a prompt button should come up, and your manager should be at the touchline, maybe kicking a water bottle or throwing a water bottle or looking angry and like what's going on? Again, if you score a goal, again a prompt button should come up, and the manager should be cheering and like clapping at the sideline, maybe running down the sideline, like cheering, like yeah, like Jose Mourinho, you know, like how he did. You know, stuff like that. Just a quick prompt button, you know? Like the prompt button could be triangle or whatever, you know? And it shows a cutscene of the manager. So you see the player, like that should stay on longer, because you see the player's celebration, blah, 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 right? So actually, I think it should come on after the second replay of the goal. So you score the goal, the players then do their celebration. Then it shows you the goal, like with hypermotion or whatever, and then that's when they should cut back out. Like when it goes to come out, you prompt then to show the manager celebrating, like yeah, and that's when you get like the commentary going, oh, even the manager's celebrating that goal, or you know, the manager's excited for that goal or whatever. However, the commentator, I'm not a commentator. Another thing that you actually do need to do with career mode: add more commentators. I'm sick of Guy Mowbray and Alan Smith. I'm sick of the same two commentators. I tried to use the other guy, Sue, and the other person. I couldn't use them in Korea in managed career mode. You need to go out and hire more commentators, like Robbie Savage. Commentators like Jamie Redknapp, commentators like Ali McCoist, commentators like Gary Neville, and what's the other one? Jamie Carragher. Even some female commentators, like you've got Sue. Add some other female commentators. And also, I think if the what you call him gets cut off. Let's say Alex Scott comes in and she's like, oh, got some breaking news here. And then they go, oh, sorry, we've got to cut you off here. Have it after the celebration, right? Literally after the celebration, have it after the celebration that she comes back on. And yeah, just an update from that. I'll have it where they go, sorry, we cut you off. Backdash for that quick update. Something like that. Backdash from that quick update. Yeah. Newcastle had just scored. It was a brilliant goal from, you know, even give it just a random player name. Just a player name, like not a goalkeeper though, but you know. Oh yeah, it was a brilliant goal for Newcastle here live at the Etihad. Bang! There you go. You just listen. You've got all the money, right? You've got loads and loads of money. People spend billions of dollars on your Ultimate Team cards and stuff like that, right? Lots of people spend money on it, and you make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars from it. All I'm gonna say is, right, spend some money. It looks like you've got the backing of Amazon. It looks like you've got Pepsi on your side. Work on the defense. Work on getting some people in to work on defense. Work on mocap with all the leagues from around the world and all the countries. Work on a lot. Spend your money. Make this game the future of your new game. build up on for the future. Because if you don't build up on the future for this game, if FIFA make their game and they get the company that they're going to get, EA is fucked. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you. And goodbye.